Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. In the last episode, we talked to Todd for quite some time. We learned about what happened down here in this facility, and poor Todd is quite traumatized by the whole affair. We have learned as well that we need to convince Todd's multiple personalities that he should be allowed to open the gate. We were able to convince his mother that the gate should be opened by answering a series of questions correctly, and then being able to draw her attention back to a portrait when we did so. We began trying to convince Stig, the father of Cynthia, the girl that I think Todd was supposed to marry. We began to try to convince him. However, we stopped because of the amount of effort that was. Hey, where are you going? Okay, he's going. Wait. Oh, he's going this way. Right. So we were able to start that puzzle, but the puzzle is a combination lock. Off screen, I have done the puzzle, and I am ready to give him the answers. As soon as he decides to stop running, let's actually go ahead and just grab him. Hey, Todd? Oh, I can't talk now. I have to exercise. I'd like to speak to your parents and parents-in-law again. He closes his eyes. Ah, welcome back, Mr. Outsider. Care for a drink? We have an old bottle of green coral, double distilled, wonderful, mature spirit. Oh, you are most gracious, Mr. Newman. He pours some invisible liquid into an invisible glass. Cheers! He then raises his imaginary glass and swirls the liquid that's not in it, sniffs its fictitious smell before taking a delightful sip of nothing. Pretend to drink. Very nice. Baritone, after taking a sip of nothing himself. Splendid. That is the father of Seneva. About Todd, the boy, Stig. How may I help you? Let's talk about Todd opening that gate. You asked that Todd opens the RD Dome gate for you. That in of itself will be stressful for someone in as delicate a condition as he is, as mundane an action as it may seem. Assuming that the game hasn't reordered the answers, I think I know what they are. By the way, I'm about to give my answers, but I have a sinking suspicion that the answers are just random. That they will change depending upon your playthrough. Your objective is to piece together which of the answers you're giving are correct and which ones are wrong. If he says something like, I see what you mean, but I cannot allow, I think you've got 3 of them correct. If he says something like, you make some very good points, but you have 4 of them correct. If you get, I understand, I think I now, you've got them all correct. Anything less than 3, and I believe you get completely wrong as your answer. I think. Alright, so, let's go with the answers that I think are the right ones, based on me doing this earlier. So we want to do number 4. Keeping him in one dome is going to be more stressful in the long run. Having a new unknown space before him, one that has been described as dangerous to him repeatedly, is bound to cause him a lot of stress. He needs more space. He'll also feel pressured not to make a mistake, even if it's such a simple thing. I know how implants work. I'll make sure he does fine. Let's say it all goes well. But what if later on he opens the gate and goes there alone, and something happens to him? He shouldn't live in constant fear of everything. What if something, in fact, does go wrong when the gate opens? Something that's an actual threat. I'll take care of it if that happens. He'll see everything can be overcome. I understand. I think now I understand what you mean. It's not his low testosterone that makes him less of a man. It's not being a man that keeps his testosterone low. Yes. Native Lemurians, how different they are. I've grown distant to Todd over the years of him and Sinya not being able to make a child. His problems prevented it, and I've worked for years to improve his health with the means I had. I've felt like another patient. He shakes his head, reverting back to his previous self. Yes, we've grown distant, Asta and I and him. Moreover, I believe he no longer has any kind of relationship with my wife. Very well. Todd needs more independence in space. This, combined with moderate physical activity, should improve his health, mental and otherwise. Can I talk to Senya? Unfortunately, no. She can't speak to you. Or anyone else. Why not? She is resting. All this concerning Todd, it's too heavy a burden for her. She's resting. Oh, she's probably dead, is my guess. Alright, now we have to convince Agnes. Now this I tested out as well, rather than have you guys suffer through me trying to understand the puzzle. It's another puzzle. It's another word puzzle, as it were. Or as it word. We will... Well, let's do this. Agnes? Yes? You don't think too highly of your son, do you? How can I, Mr. Outsider? How can I? My only son, my blood, the carrier of my genes, and he can't even learn how to use a simple tool bracer. I've tried teaching him, many other things too, but he always finds a way to screw it all up. Damn it all to depths. He stares at his outstretched palms. These hands, with these I alone, have maintained the station, ever since my father died. May his spirit float freely. With these hands, I brought servants back to life to take care of our two families, saved us from flooding, then loss of electrical power on numerous occasions, and my son can't even maintain his own room. The only thing these hands couldn't do was raise a man. I think I found this thing in the machine shop. Ah, my tool bracer. He smiles and frowns. And that moron lost all of the tools. Could you show me how it works? Well, you put it on like this. He takes a bracer and puts his arm through it, having the decorated transparent section facing up. He then quickly presses on the root of his thumb with his fingers, which causes the straps to automatically tighten themselves around the forearm's anterior side. The strap locks still works. Oh, the strap lock still works. Good. So, what's interesting is that Todd may not know how to use it, but his father does, right? The personality we're talking to knows, which means Todd actually knows. So we need to get the father to explain to us how it works so totally that Todd himself, I think, remembers. I believe that's what we're supposed to do here. Let's see if we can get that right. So how do you use it? It's all gesture-based. There is a sensor by the wrist which detects even the most minute tendon movements. Pressing the root of your thumb activates and deactivates gesture recognition, but you can program it to your liking. He checks the connector at the base of the device. Corroded. The tools inside are held by electromagnets, yet you can move your hand to rotate them around your arm and have them inserted into your hand, all very smoothly, unless the magnetic focuser is going to depths. It also picks up tools and replaces them with new ones. Once you get the hang of it, you can work really fast. In the past, there were some expert engineers who could use two bracers at the same time, but their bloodlines died out, sadly, their skills left untaught. Can I try on the tool bracer? There are no tools in it. Let's just extend our arm. He reaches for his outer thigh, pushing his hand right through the suit and into an imperceptible pocket. From it, he pulls out some kind of metal rivet, and as soon as he does so, the pocket seals back into invisibility. He opens the tool bracer cover and puts the rivet right in the middle. The magnets snap into place and closes the bracer. This will do. Here. Let's put it on and wriggle our hand. What are you doing? Press the root of your thumb with your fingers. Just a quick one. Let's do as he says. The straps tighten around your forearm, slowing down a bit before locking, as if verifying its thickness. The end result feels rather comfortable. There. Now, let's say you need to use a Huss wrench. In this case, a size 8 jack rivet. It's on position 1. Move your hand up in line with the rivet. Let's move our whole arm up. Let's make sure that he really, really says what we need to do. No, just the hand. Let's do that then. The inside part of the bracer, a hollow cylinder to which tools are attracted by magnets, rotates so that the rivet reaches the interior side, ready to be picked up. There you go. Now what? Take it. Move your hand down and it'll drop into your hand. Let's try that. Move our hand down to reach for the rivet. As soon as your hand gets in position, you hear a short buzzing sound and you feel the rivet being pressed into your hand. Now what do I do? Actually, we could drop it. No, now what do I do? Now, tilt your hand down and give the rivet back to the bracer. Let's drop it. Damn it! He picks up the rivet and puts it in your hand. Focus! Give it back to the bracer. The rivet. The rivet. Focus. Give it back to the bracer. Tilt your hand down and inward as if giving the tool back to the bracer. The magnet pulls the rivet from your hand, and the cylinder rotates it back into its original position. All of this happens very fluidly and quickly. Great. See? You get the hang of it straight away. One more thing left to do. Some tools can be on the far ends of the bracer, and maybe you can't see them or need to access them more often. Let's rotate the whole cylinder. Tilt your hand up in line with the rivet, and while still keeping it up, rotate it left or right, wherever you want. Select the rivet and rotate it around so it ends up in its original position. By the depths! By the depths! Tilt your hand up in line with the damn rivet, then rotate left or right. Rotate left, right. Let's rotate our hand, then select the rivet. By the depths! How hard can it be to follow a simple instructions? Can't you get it through your thick skull, boy? I mean, child, Mr. Outsider. It's a miracle Todd learned how to use the tool bracer with you around. What do you mean, learned? The boy's as useless as... His voice drops in pitch, and he, whoever he is right now, is staring at the tool bracer. I've been practicing when Father wasn't looking. Oh. I thought he learned how to use it. I thought the father personality did, but maybe what we just have witnessed is that he's reliving his father trying to teach him, and he actually knows how to use it correctly because he practiced. His rumbly voice recovers, but it's a little softer than the earlier. I don't want him to be useless, but it's hard, damn it, hard. Just like my father taught me before his... I knew I had to teach my own boy everything I know, but he's so slow and... He stares at the tool bracer even more intently, but the tool bracer, he can use it. He clearly can. Heh. At last, at least the boy can do something right. Can you let Todd unlock the gate to R&D for me? Oh, they're all answering again. I suppose we can trust him to unlock it. But what if... Alright, it can't be that bad. You convinced me freedom of movement. The action would benefit his health. And my husband convinced me. What you see in Todd's face seems to represent everyone looking at each other. One by one, they begin to nod. And then... Yes. Yes, you have our permission to take the boy to the gate. But remember what we talked about, Mr. Outsider. Before I leave you, I'd like to discuss a few more things. Let's see. Oh, no, there's nothing else. I guess I will take my leave of you now. Take care. Take care. With pleasure. Farewell. Okay. Let's wait till Todd jogs back, and then we'll grab him, and we'll bring him up there. Todd? Oh, I can't talk now. I have to exercise. Todd, I need you to unlock the gate to R&D Dome for me. I can't go there, I told you. I talked to your parents. They'll allow it. They do? He pauses, confused. Yes, they do. Follow me. Todd brings his right hand near the gate control screen. Red light turns green, and the gate opens. He pauses, almost as if he wishes to turn away and leave, but he instead speaks with a new voice, not dissimilar to his usual tenor. Todd? He looks around. Senya? Seneva? Can you hear me, Todd? Yes, I'm helping Mr. Outsider. And you? Are you feeling well? How's our baby boy doing? Todd. What's the matter, Senya? How's our boy? Don't you know what I'm talking about? It took us so long, Senya, but we finally did it. You gave me a boy. Her eyes fill with tears. Todd, I'm dead. Frey is dead. We did not survive the birth. My parents, your parents, everyone. You don't know whose teary eyes you're staring into, but after a while, it doesn't seem to matter. You were waiting for me, to make you happy, Senya, for so long. You can't be. He wipes his tears away. You are, and I'm alone. He gives you a sad and unmistakably more mature look. Then he turns and jogs away. I'm tempted to trap this entrance to prevent anything from reaching him. I think I would like to bring him with us. I think he deserves another chance, if he can find someone else, or maybe devote his life to being around other people and not be so alone. But first, let's loot! Let's take a look what's inside this locker, and try not to be so sad. To turn the power on. Can't look at the computer. So that gate control is also shut. I am kind of nervous. I really don't want him attacked. But I have a hunch I can't stop anything from taking this if something really wants to go down there. Actually, Tim, instead of 4 traps, use 3 traps. Love the music to this area. Creepy. Actually, we'll put you there, and then a mine here. This is kind of exciting for Garrett as well. This technology hasn't been seen in many, many, many years, and it's probably more powerful than things we've seen up on the surface. Excellent material for fireproof clothing, as basalt fibers are highly resistant to transparent metallic glass, a microalloy comprised of It's stuck. Hacking. This place has seen better days. Side rejuvenator. We don't need anything from this. Actually, we might as well take the blueprint. It's worth 500. A symbiotic environment combining conventional aquaculture with hydroponics, making the aquaponics. Fish, crustaceans, mollusks, hydrozoan colonies. Biofilters. Will nitrification bacteria convert ammonia into nitrates for plants. I'm getting more and more worried, so as this happens, I'm gonna actually take the traps away. I'm beginning to think I'm beginning to think I don't want traps. Because so what's going through my head right now is this looks like a maze. A maze where I'm gonna need to run around and shut gates to stop things from chasing me, and I'm thinking that I'm going to be really happy to not have to pause for like 15 seconds to disarm a bear trap. They were still using gasoline back then, apparently. Storage. More canned food. Oh, the music scared me right there. It's really empty here. I'm very surprised. Oh, this was the way we were supposed to go. I wouldn't mind searching the rest of the facility first. Assuming we can get over here on this side. more food. Another weird symbol. A weird but oddly familiar symbol. Written in red on a piece of electronic paper. We saw this on a rock up above. I guess we're gonna have all the canned meat we could possibly want from this place. Not exactly what I thought we'd find down here, though. Medsith canisters in the malfunctioning manufacturing dome. Demand for drugs for treating various disorders in the native population, both mental and physical, due to inadaptability in living conditions. Between RD and the remaining submarines and subspheres. Just as he has expunged the invading submarine. Sacrifice of human flesh and bone. Cut into pieces and arranged according to instructions, while the liver is dipped into the solution. Blood collected in a bowl, mixed with shadow dust and sprinkled across. Tons and tons of sooted slime in its place, darkening. Oh no. Did they awaken something best not awoken? Something like Chort? Because it certainly seems that way to me. Can't walk straight down there. Oh, Todd, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry in advance. We'll try to get you out of here if we can. What the heck is that? Inside is a massive dried up human brain. Contain grossly oversized hearts with electrodes attached to them. What were they working on? Looks like a head scanner, or maybe a projector of some kind. Magnetoencephalogram of a certain R. Jensen's brain activity during high-frequency shadow wave exposure, as printed at the bottom. Doesn't look healthy one bit. Pacifier. This cumbersome and clunky construction of the psionic headband suggests that it is just an experimental model. It seems that their designers were looking to enhance non-lethal psionic techniques. Psionic skills increased by 15, cyber generation increased by 2, non-damaging psi abilities psi cost reduced by 20%, damaging psi abilities psi cost increased by 20%. It weighs 3 pounds, but we have room. Take it. No power. Oh. What kind of weird symbol is that? Depicts a genetic serpent devouring a star. Is this where the savages came from? Not as noble as the Theremin would have liked to have believed. Liquid crystal slime. When motionless, the liquid is viscous and sticks to the walls of the container, its sparkling reflections richly colored. But when shaken, the liquid breaks up and turns into matte dry lumps. It remains so for a few moments, and then it resettles and reliquefies. There's nothing here else I want. Wow, quite a bit of supplies. Most of it's lower level though, so we don't need any of this other... I guess we should take this stuff, Tim. It doesn't weigh very much. Just take it. It doesn't weigh anything, really. Holy crap! Wow! That's a high-level crossbow. Ours is better. I say that immediately looking at the durability. Ours is better, it is higher level, and I crafted it myself, so it has what I want. If this was crossbow parts, that would have been amazing. I guess we'll take all of the energy weapons, because we know they're going to be worth quite a bit. Shock steel sledgehammer. Weighs too much. We might be able to break it down, though. But Tim, you're using up more space by doing that. Decent level dagger. Ours is still better. Shock Tungsten Steel Machete. Oh my god, this is an amazing weapon. Unfortunately, our strength is not high enough for it. But that is incredible. Holy crap. That would normally be amazing. It's a shame our strength is not high enough. I don't really need any of this stuff. We'll take you, and we'll hold... Unfortunately, everyone, the rest of this is staying here forever. We'll take that as well, but I... The acorn's here! It got burn marks that precipitate from the neck and spiral toward the top of the head. They emit a faint purple glow. I don't know how much it weighs. You know, I would like to bring a souvenir with me of this place. And I think the machete would be very nice to do that with. We'll store the bullets. I shouldn't need them. And I also should not need all those cells. Before I take the acorn, I'm going to want to take a look at that thing first. It's some kind of crudely constructed scanner. You can't deduce much from its appearance. Welcome, P-Bridges. Unable to connect to ASIN. Only local data is available. Documents. Documents. Shadowlith Archive, please. This is a collection of collaborative scientific notes, reports, and papers on Shadowlith recovered following shadow emission LEAD-129, which wiped out most of the data in the special laboratory database. The collection is incomplete and provides limited corporeal insight into the most basic interactions between Shadowlith and our reality. It should only serve for archival purposes. Discovery. The Black Monolith was first uncovered at the Abyssal Evacuation Site 6, exact year and date unknown, closest estimate between LEBD-20 and 30. Several years after the construction of Abyssal Station 0, the monolith is a 3-meter-tall, deep black structure in the shape of a hexagon prism, augmented with pyramidal frustrums at its top and bottom. It is composed of a material so dense it required 4 heavy sublifters to bring it to the station. At 108 tons, its density was calculated to be 30.061 grams per centimeters cubed. Transporting it from the manufacturing dome required reinforcing the floor with RG panels and using super lubricant mats to eliminate friction when pushed by strongmen. Composition test. The test was performed after an upgrade to the nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscope module in the hopes that it will finally allow us to determine the molecular structure of the black monolith after numerous failed attempts. To our dismay, but sadly consistent with all our previous tests, this one too gave us no results. The black monolith is impenetrable to all of our instruments and impervious to all tools with which we tried to obtain samples. In agreement with Dr. Marison, we are ceasing all attempts at further testing the monolith's physical properties until means to obtain samples are provided. We will instead focus all our research on the shadow waves. Oh, great. Oh, great. Show me about the shadow waves. A shadow wave is a transverse wave radiated by the black monolith, which during its first half period exhibits measurable physical interactions, positive extensi, but no measurable interactions during its second half period, negative extensi. In normal conditions, the change between positive and negative extensi occurs at frequencies of 2 Hz, 0.2 Hz, meaning that the wave completes one full cycle in 0.4 Hz, with an average wavelength of roughly 16 microns. The points where extensi states come to an end are called shadow wave extensi limits, or more specifically, negative and positive extensi limits for each of the respective states of interaction. The extent to which the shadow waves interact with material reality is not yet known, but so far, we've measured the more obvious electromagnetic interactions, effects on shadow waves on electromagnetic fields by Dr. E. Herman Sigmarsson, some weak nuclear interactions, radioactive decay at shadow wave extensi limits, and some strong nuclear interactions. Unaccounted for increases and decreases in mass extensi limits have also been measured, but due to its inconsistent manifestation and magnitude, we've yet to draw solid conclusions with respect to gravitational effects of the wave. Most of these permutations or otherwise unexplained phenomena occur near or at extensi limits, whereas during positive extensi, the shadow wave carries energy in the form of a regular electromagnetic wave, starting at the negative and ending at the positive extensi limit of that period, in a somewhat predictable fashion, depending on properties measured. How the energy is carried from positive to negative extensi limits, for all intents and purposes, how the wave comes into existence again, and why and how these limits, which can be represented as fields causing these interactions, manifest in space is yet unknown. What is clear is that changes in this electromagnetic component wave during positive extensi of the shadow wave is conserved throughout its negative extensi, meaning that it is without a doubt the same wave which alternates between affecting and not affecting physical reality, as all of our research suggests, and quite possibly all of its fundamental aspects. The electromagnetic wave, which we've studied the most in all of all interactions, exhibits an unusual kind of elliptical polarization defined by Holdenson's disjoint function. Informally, it has been dubbed the serpentine polarization, as its graph representation bears the likeness of a snake spiraling through space. All attempts at polarizing the wave in any way have proven unsuccessful, as the wave will be repolarized as soon as the shadow wave enters its negative extensi, meaning that after passing negative extensi limit, the EM wave will again have serpentine polarization. Okay, how did you guys try to manipulate it? So far, we've determined that the shadow wave can be partially manipulated through changes in the electromagnetic field during positive extensi. This means that by giving the wave more energy at appropriate extensi limits, we can, for instance, change its frequency in a manner that is consistent with our understanding of the laws of reality. However, this also produces amplified and so far unpredictable quantum effects at extensi limits, both positive and negative, depending upon how the wave has been manipulated and the medium through which it passes. The shadow waves can be directed through space by guiding them into Orion tubes with massive magnetic field shapers at the base of the monolith. In these tubes, we can shoot photons at specific intervals, aiming for either negative or positive extensi limits, so we may study the resulting quantum interactions. The process can be dangerous if too much energy is introduced. which has resulted in 2 accidents already, but controlled wave manipulation at positive ecstasy limits will create relatively stable changes in the wave. What quantum interactions occur at negative ecstasy limit, like the creation of new particles, actual and not virtual, is currently beyond the scope of our understanding. Object negation experiment. This experiment was conducted to test the hypothesized complete negation of objects from reality with PSWB, phased shadow wave beam technology. The object used for this experiment is a standard size pseudobrass cup suspended in an MO5 testing sphere. By channeling the shadow wave through 5.3 meter long Orion tubes and introducing increasing, note, amounts of energy at every positive ecstasy limit, we were able to achieve the desired frequency of 67.5, for both waves. One wave is then continuously phase shifted in the range of 175 to 185 degrees, while the PSWB is being focused on the cup. After the darkening effect, more notes, has achieved, another energy surge is needed to completely negate the cup from existence, a process which occurred in less than 0.15 seconds. The experiment, besides proving the negation hypothesis, also proves Botton's principle that strong chemical bonds will ensure that whole objects will be affected. In conclusion, the 5th test was a complete success, the only losses being 2 Orion tube and 1 MO5 sphere. However, those could hardly be called losses, not because of the relatively small cost of equipment, but more so due to the fact that changes in their chemical structure and the formation of these unknown liquid chemical crystal compounds will provide our team with new study materials. Oh? This experiment was conducted to test the hypothesized complete negation of objects from... Oh, we already read this. We already read that. Anamorphic disk. Today we received something called an anamorphic disk. It is supposedly capable of cutting the black monolith. It came in an external shipment, the details of which are oddly kept away from all of us lowly engineers. At first glance, it's a rather unimpressive rubbery disk, 20 centimeters in diameter and 1 centimeter thick, gray in color, of a rough texture, made of some unknown synthetic material we were explicitly instructed not to scan and to keep in cryo except during use. This thing is something no sane person would ever see as a cutting tool, yet alone something that we could damage an object as impervious as a black monolith. However, after doing some testing at the shop, we now view the anamorphic disk in a completely different light. The disk arrived with a CEDAR SG88M large diameter grinder, on whose end it is to be attached, which frankly gives it a comically disappropriate appearance. Speaking of comical, are we really expected to believe that such a primitive tool as a mechanical grinder with a rubber gasket at its end will achieve what the most technologically advanced lasers and plasma cutters at our disposal can't? These thoughts went through all our minds, and then we fired the thing up. Within the span of a second, the disc flattened while tripling in diameter, its gray color becoming much lighter in the shade. In this state, the disc could cut anything we tested on it. Pseudobrass, steel, all the way to stronger alloys and minerals, even a G5 rated diamond, and did so with little resistance. Will it cut the monolith? That would be its ultimate test. We were instructed to modify a strawman to use the grinder and ensure that it is capable of performing the cut, taking all the potential variables into account. No idea how they came up with those, but what I do know, but what do I know? I'm just an engineer. Hopefully the cut will be performed tomorrow, after which I will file another report. There was no other report, but that crystal, the monolith, looks like the purple there was probably from the cut. Summon available servant. No available servant detected. Well, the obvious question for all of us is, do we touch it? Because we can. This doesn't look like something Garrett would touch. Garrett tends to be kind of on the smarter side, so we're gonna leave that there and look at some of these other computers. The screen that displays an image of a dissected man, his body twisted and atrophied, and certain patches of his skin feature reptilian scales. Shadow waves, unliving tissue. Affects DNA replication. dust into the bloodstream, which will accelerate the process and cause biomolecules unknown. Do we have a better view of this now? Unable to connect to Asin. Only local data is available. Document. Shadow wave psychoprojection charts, please. Shadow wave psychoprojection chart. Standard. Superseded. Shadow dust inhalation. Current. What? Infra. Okay, I'm not going to read all this. This is a... Oh, actually, no, we should. Infra. 0.5 hertz. Sense of vermicular motion inside head and abdomen. Mild headache and intestinal pain in approximately half of subjects. Delta. Violent pounding in ears, sometimes accompanied by a hissing, growling, and screaming. No visual stimulation. Theta. Creeping terror, distress, coldness. Alpha. Sense of asphyxiation and claustrophobia. Beta. Temporary loss of sight and hearing with exception of sporadic autovisual visions, most commonly containing flashing pairs of lights, serpentine motion, and indiscernible echoing sounds. Gamma. Suicidal urges, madness, often leading to cerebral hemorrhaging and death, complete and overwhelming sensory hallucinations. Frequencies higher than 42 Hz will consistently result in death of subjects that have inhaled shadow dust. Shadow dust inhalation current? Oh, we just looked at that. Standard? Shadow wave frequencies. Shadow wave frequencies? Oh, I guess one is when they beam you if you've had shadow dust inhaled. The other is if you haven't. So, maybe? Infra. No perceptible stimulation, no short-term effects. Delta. Faint, distant, aural beat in the range of 5 to 15 beats per minute. No visual stimulation. Theta. Deep stimulation of unconsciousness cognition, inductive reasoning, memory recollection, creativity association, language, etc. Alpha. Sense of great relaxation and loss of sense of time and spatial awareness. Beta. Lucid, autovisual hallucinations. Gamma. Increased analytical cognitive performance, deductive reasoning, complex problem solving, etc. Upsilon. Increased psionic performance across most disciplines. Exhausting for non-psionic subjects. Severe headaches in extreme cases. Frequencies higher than 60 Hz are considered dangerous and should only be used with psionic subjects while exercising extreme caution. This is not for us. This is not for us. We don't want we have not inhaled the dust. We will not inhale it. We are not a psionicist. We will not touch this. Sounds like it does what the spice does in Dune. Like, the Mentats drink the, that special blood, the water, or, actually, no, is it spice that they drink? Or is it, have spice in it, which stains their lips? But it helps them think, and helps them, strategize, do advanced mathematics, etc., etc. Sounds like this could do something like that for you. Well, everyone, we've delayed long enough. It's time for us. We're not touching it. We're not touching it. Let's go ahead and look around really quick. Were there any other computers turned on? Nothing that we can interact with. Actually, we looked at all these things before, right? Okay. Let's do this. Abyssal Station 0. And the music would stop, wouldn't it? Let's get out of here. Oh, God help us. I am in combat. Did the gate shut behind us? Uh-oh. I think I'm doomed. I think I'm doomed. We walked through this, but it's now shut. Something has emerged from the thing. It missed us, but I don't see how we get out of here. Oh, the gate control. Let's use some morphine. Throw a flare? Oh, it's like living mist. Oh, God! And I'm stuck. I'm stuck? I'm stuck. Can we destroy these? It doesn't look like I can, so I think we're dead. Is that right? Okay, we died pretty much immediately. That, I just want to, there's nothing I can do, so we'll just go ahead and reload rather than watch us slowly die over time. Alright, let's try this again. That's, I'll say it, it's kind of lame. They're gonna trap me in the room. Oh God, they're appearing everywhere! We cannot damage them. This was the wrong way to go. So if you get trapped in here, Tim, it's your fault. Yep, we're heading back over here. Somehow. Tim, you just have to run. We've killed Todd, and none of the discoveries here are gonna work. Why was it waiting? Oh, I guess we powered it on. It might have gathered enough of whatever energy it needed, and now is doing this in retaliation for being attacked. I sure hope, Tim, there's nothing else you think you need, because you're not coming back here. Your food also expired. It expired a long, long time ago. Darn me, shutting doors behind myself. Welcome, P. Bridges. Shut it! Please shut it! Todd! Todd, we need to get you and get the hell out of here now. Todd! I'm not... We're gonna find him. I don't know how long we have until they start tearing into the ship. He's not on any of the monitors. Did he go to his room? Is he not even here? We need to get him off this station. It's no longer safe for him. Can at least seal the things inside here. I don't hear Todd. I have not seen him. We will hope that he is out of the station. We'll take the long way. Maybe we'll find him somewhere out here. Is he in the submarine? Please tell me he's here. A pair of eyes stare at you, tinted with fearful determination. Mr. Outsider! Nod. Are you sure you want to do this? He nods silently. Welcome aboard. He nods with a slight smile. Don't be afraid. Time to surface. Navigation. Course. Actually, I guess we just surface. And controls surface. We're moving. Another beacon. The station must be close. Come on. Why does... No questions! Don't fall apart, damn it. There should be a beacon here, but everything's dark. There is a lot of dust particles in the water, though. What was... Shh. What was that? The walls are getting closer. You're descending into a gorge of some kind. We're almost there. How much? Oh, it's playing back the same thing we saw on the way down, just backwards. That's why it doesn't... it should be ascending, not descending on the way back. Dr. Savage. Savage speaking. Can I get someone over here to help me? Oh, what the heck? So, I asked them for a patrol, a status report, and they said several patrols have reported spotting something large passing underneath them. Serpentine in shape and over 15 or 20 meters long. Outside of that, descriptions wildly differ. I hope it's just fatigue. Be ready for everything. Anything. Over. Oh no. Report over. That's bad. Yeah, I need to speak to you in person. Where can I find you? Over. Top of the lighthouse in the camp. Over. Garrett out. Chief Briggs? Briggs. Garrett out. Marcus. It's safe. Is this the surface? It is. Now about you. Me? This world is dangerous and will swallow you in seconds. You can't take care of yourself. But I can take care of I can't take care of you either due to the nature of my life. I'll find someone who will, though. You stay here. And I'll be back as soon as I find you a new home. Thank you, Mr. Outsider. I'll stay here. I'll be good. I won't touch anything. Good. See ya. How can we help him? Maybe now? Oldfield on the line, over. I have a report to make about Abyssal Station. Over. You went down there? Yes, I have. Excellent, goodness me. It's best we discuss this in the camp. Come here as soon as you can. Out. Will do. Out. Okay, everyone. Doesn't look like I can raise... Oh, maybe... After a short delay and some jarring static, speak. Where are you now? Over. I'm at the Muti Refuge. After that, first port Seto, the northeastern waters. That plan. Thanks, over. I don't really want to leave him here. But I don't think we have a choice. So let's go back to camp, try to find some help for him immediately. Also, we should eat some of this food I brought with me. I have like 9 more minutes, everyone, so we will attempt to get back to camp, talk to them there, and then we'll call the session. Hopefully I can actually find someone to take care of our poor friend here. God, if I still had the traps there, I would have to reload and do that whole area over again. Oh, that would have been terrible. My own attempt to be clever would have killed us. Okay, everyone. First, we'll stop by the shop to clear out some of our inventory. And then, we'll visit the the professor, and maybe even the doctor, and talk with them, and then we're out of here. I'm sorry, then we're saving the game and calling it a session. First, I'll probably want to repair one of these. Marcus, I have a pistol for you. It's worth quite a bit of cash. Probably a lot more than he's willing that he has it. Oh, not that much more. All right, we'll take this. And while I'm here, I guess we'll grab the micro dischargers and that. Thank you, sir. Lattleman. We should repair these as well. Sir, let's sell you this for most of your cash. Do I have another weapon I can sell? Yep, we have this one, which is the rest of your cash, and that gives us a little bit of leeway. Although I don't think there's anything I really want. It's like a thin grenade case. I don't need anything else, though. Unless, is he buying something else from us? Nothing I'm willing to trade. Sir, thank you for the 650. Oh, we'll be back for him. He raises his head from behind the monitor. Yes? I have a oh! Goodbye, Professor. We should look at this first before we turn it in. Acorn is written on its top face, just below a white symbol most resembling a diagonal placed egg whose upper half is enclosed by a semicircle with a bent stalk at the very top. It appears to be a container of some kind, one that seems to open horizontally in the middle. You are, however, unable to find a means by which to do so. There are no handles, no locks, no buttons, touchscreens, or visible sensors. Additionally, the robust casing easily discourages brute force, at least by more conventional means. Whatever is inside, it is likely invaluable. I have a report to make about the Abyssal Station, Professor. Tell me everything. Both the Professor and the Chief listened to your story of descent into the abyssal depths of the Black Sea, arrival to what is a dilapidated monument to both the Lemurians' ability to adapt and survive, and to their ironic, almost paradoxical inability to do just that. In silence, they wait for you to finish. And then, after I managed to get away from the Shadowlet's influence, I got back to the submarine and successfully surfaced. By the caverns. As amazed as he, without a doubt, is, you can see it in his eyes that what he's waiting for you to tell him about. So wait, what? As amazed as he, without a doubt, is, you can see it in his eyes that what he's waiting for you to tell him about something. That what he is waiting for you. That's so weird. Oh, we could turn it into someone else, maybe. But I have no one I can think of that we've met out here who would want it. I don't want to keep it. I have other mementos for our trip down there. And to be fair, we were paid for this job. No one else paid us for this. Show him the acorn. Nothing happens for the first few moments. He acts as if you've presented him with the most mundane of things. But then, as his eyes slowly focus on the big white letters from capital A to capital N, he can't but not gawk at it in awe. Acorn. Goodness me, this is it? A box? Guess so. Miniaturization has certainly done it for mobile habitats. May I have it, please? We wouldn't be Garrett if we didn't ask. Gladly. But first I'd like to know how much my contribution to the world is worth. In all honesty, priceless, Garrett. Truly priceless. But there's only so much we could reward you with, on top of a rather hefty sum you've accumulated through your bonuses. 2,000 Stygian coins, if I converted it right. I'm not really good with your currency. We don't have any mercantile. 2,000 coins is not a lot. We've received a good amount more than that in the past. We got 1,000, I think, for killing Balar, for example. That said, it wasn't that difficult, all things told. We escaped with our life after I reloaded once, and despite all the horrible problems that we encountered, we emerged victorious. I like to also be known as the guy who gets the job done. That's very generous of you, Professor. Here you go. Besides, I don't have any mercantile. He takes it carefully, looking at it from all sides, and indeed, confirming for the nth time that the letters do indeed read acorn. We did it. Oh, goodness me, we did it. It was all worth it. What are your orders, Professor? Time for us to leave. We've managed to collect so far... Oh, sorry. Time for us to leave. What we've managed to collect so far can be loaded into our ships we'll bring with us. The rest is up to the sea. Richard, it's time to inform your sect troopers. The Black Sea expedition is over. I simply can't put my gratitude into words, Garrett. If you ever find yourself in Dis, please stop by the university. You'll always be welcome. Unless you have anything to ask me, you're free to leave, and oh, don't forget to take the possessions from your footlocker. There is one more thing, Professor. There's someone I haven't mentioned yet. A person I met in the Abyssal Station. I'd like to bring him to the camp. A person. By the caverns! A Lemurian called Todd. The professor takes a step back and sits on his bed, bringing with him a cup of water. He looks at you, somewhat dazed but smiling before speaking. By all means, Garrett. Let's go and bring him to the camp. You bring Todd to the camp. You told him where he would be going and tried to prepare him as best you could to what he was going to encounter, but you knew he was inevitably going to be intimidated by his first encounter with the outside, and such an overwhelming one at that. As you led him through the camp, everyone turned around and stared in utter disbelief at this man wearing a suit in a style everyone could identify as being Lotaerian. And Todd, he stared at them too, at all these strange people in this large room with a jagged ceiling. The confinedness of the professor's tent has a relaxing effect on Todd after being exposed to the spaciousness of the outside. The professor introduces himself and the chief, who just silently nods, and does his best to make his guest as comfortable as possible, while at the same time trying his best to prevent his own fascination from overwhelming him. The conversation starts with simple questions with short, straightforward answers, then develops into a proper conversation about the outside, Abyssal Station, and a variety of topics. And you just stand aside and listen. The chief, however, himself to an interocular, whispers something into the professor's ear, bringing the conversation to a halt before calling his sect troopers. Todd is, for the first time, going to be in Seeger's tent, while the rest of the camp undertakes all preparations for the expedition's departure. Todd, still somewhat shy, still feels rather confident, although he hesitates for a brief moment before being led out into open space. He speaks to you, his stare distant and filled with excitement. By the caverns, I just talked to a Lotaerian. What's going to happen now? Yes. Well, he's coming with us to North Underrail. Goodness me, this is incredible. Todd just might be one of the greatest discoveries of recent times. A living Lotaerian. A Lotaerian, Garrett. It's indescribable. And one worthy of a good bonus. Yes, you've more than earned it. In any case, Todd is going to be with Seeger now. It's the best place for him, as he'll be away from all the current commotion. Oh, I should tell him not to give him coffee. Do you think Biocorp knew about the Abyssal Station or Shadowlith? What if they feared facing what was down there and retreated because of it? To that, I'm afraid, I couldn't possibly give you an answer. Goodbye, Professor. Everyone, I guess that's it. I'm gonna assume we can come back here, though, still somehow. And we still have more of the Black Sea to explore. But otherwise, I suppose our expedition, what we needed to do here, is done, and they're gonna be clearing out soon. Let's see if there's anything else to talk about. They seem to be having another discussion and are unaware of your presence. Listen to the conversation. So, Marky, this is it. We're leaving the Hell's Gut. Yep. It was horrible. Pipe working. Since we arrived here, we've had to deal with bugs and giant serpents. Them toxic crap tubes. Disease, sickness, dominated by stinking germs. Native attacks. Chalk zoners, pirates, sea zoners, food shortages, pipe-working canned eels. But frankly, Tone, I really miss some hardcore grinding. Damn, that's what I wanted to hear from you, Marky. Unadulterated, straight to the point, grinding. If there is anything good about you, Hell's Gut, it's that you made this man just a bit less la-di-da. Thank you, Hell's Gut. Thank you. So, Lily? Nope. Maria. He shows his ring. Okay, well, as long as you're getting some, lovely lady posterior. You can sound cultured when you want to, huh, Tone? Hey, Tone ain't no bone, boy. Just don't get too used to it. I'm gonna miss you two. He nods. Now, as much as I like hanging out with you two, I can't wait to get out of this pipe-working place. He cleans the forehead with his handkerchief and squeezes it by his side. Yeah! Anything you need before laborers start taking things out? Let's take a look. I just literally sold some stuff. You have not recycled your inventory, so we take nothing else. I think you guys are all leaving. Let's say goodbye to everybody, and then we'll call the session. How's that? You find the doctor nervously filling a trash bag with some medical waste. You get the feeling that he's throwing away things he both should and shouldn't. Damn expedition. Should have listened. What's the matter? We're getting out of this place. He kicks the bag in anger, setting all its contents over the place. We're leaving it. But is it leaving us? He grabs his head. I can't shake it off. This. He pauses, holding a pillbox in his hand he was ready to throw away. He looks at it, shakes it, then returns it to one of his first aid kits. I just need a proper cigarette again, or a dozen, not these things you gave me, but my favorite, Lucky Shot. I came here for some medical supplies before you pack it all up. Hey, Garrett, you want that implant out? I happen to have an extraction tool here. Should work. No, I might still need it. It's your call. You change your mind before we pack up, you see me. I need some medicine. We'll keep it. We haven't explored all of this facility, and if I want to do so, we might require it. 4 medicines. Some medical components. We have any of that? We have this solution that I'm never going to use. I'll sell them the graphite. I think it's used for something I don't really care about. I think it's used for dynamite. Oh, where's the chief? Oh, our bonus! Hold on. And our money. Marcus, I'm here to collect my paycheck. Okay, Garrett, let me see. Here you go. He hands you 3,000 Stygian coins. Keep your coins safe. Oh, I'll keep your coins safe for coins. 1-to-1 deal. Who can say no to that? Let's exchange our dollars as well. We might as well trade a bunch of them. But I would like to keep some, again, as a memento. Let's trade one more batch of them. One more batch. That would be all. Goodbye, Marcus. Good luck, you guys. Chief Briggs. Garrett. Is everything in order? Came in to say goodbye, sir. You did excellent work, Sec Trooper. You are the reason for this expedition's success, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you personally. You are hereby dismissed from your duty as a Sec Trooper, Garrett. Now pack your bags. We'll be moving out soon. Hi, Mr. Outsider, he whispers. Oh, freely whispers Seeger. This man's hair scares me, but he lets me play games. How you faring, Todd? Hey, did you see all the people? Did you? Oh, I could never have imagined there'd be so many people in the same place all at once. So many. The old man was nice. We talked a lot about Lotaeri. He was nice, but the other people look at me strange. But the funny man told me I was his favorite. Piper. Yes, Piper. I don't know what that means, but he was good to me. The outside. He looks up. It's so big. Enormous. I can jump as high as I want and not hit my head. I can run freely in this large room, just like my ancestors. And everything is moving. But really moving and like not on the screen. I can work on something and do it right, like I used to. I'm still afraid though. But I'm not alone. No. My family's gone. But I hope to have a new family. I feel like a new man. Good to hear, Todd. I have to go now. Take care. Thank you, Mr. Outsider. And Seeger? You find Seeger packing his equipment, scratching his head in wonder as to why a particular device won't fit the box. He occasionally glances at Todd, who is amusing himself with a mobile computer bearing a University of Dis logo, himself also furtively glancing at the coffee maker. Hey, coffee's a no! No! Professor killed Jeremy. Kill! If Todd drink coffee and get sick. Ugh. What? Why are you talking funny? Just don't touch the X in coffee, okay? Hey, Garrett. Having some fun with Todd, I see. His Excel. I'm just on the X, as they say. Don't want him hurting himself. There was something I needed from you before we get out of here. Go ahead. Just keep it quick. I gotta pack this stuff up, and of course I gotta do it all by myself. And I'm not keen to be left behind. Style. I'd like to know what XR is. Okay. But don't tell anyone about this. People don't understand this kind of stuff. And you, Tado, this is not for your ears. He confirms his understanding with a few quick nods. Okay. XR is short for mixed reality. That's mixed reality. You mean something between virtual and actual reality? He nods. Something like that, yeah. But this is different. This is Excel. You know how regular virtual reality works already. You put on a headset, maybe connect the electrodes, enter a gyrosphere if you got it, and then you're in this totally computer-generated world. But mixed reality is different. Some of it is real, some of it is virtual. He lets us around once again before proceeding. Okay. Now, there's this thing called a mixer you gotta step into. It's like a gyrosphere, but there are no headsets, electrodes, or anything you have to put on. You step into it, the entrance closes, and the session starts. It costs a lot of credits, but it's worth it, man. Hexagonians are going crazy over it. Down here, we'd say going derailed. Sure, X-railed. Ha! I still don't understand the mixed part. What are these sessions like? Yeah, so when you're in virtual reality, everything's digital. The computer reacts to what you do. You affect the virtual. But in mixed reality, the real things can get affected by virtual things. How is that even possible? I don't know. No one knows. That's why it's so Excel. Everything around you changes, and you can't even tell you're inside the mixer anymore. You can feel the air currents, smell things, touch, taste, feel. The sessions themselves range from just visiting places, meeting people, flying, doing all kinds of things. Sounds interesting, actually. You can get abilities you never knew were possible, see things beyond real, virtual, you can't even tell. There are also some dark things going on in XR. Some people get killed in the mixers. Things that are brought in end up somewhere else. Some people disappear. I stay away from those kinds of sessions. I don't have the courage for that. Where I go to, I do some dreadnought piloting and some other things. Other things? Like, you know what? That? No. Some do, but I haven't found a good... Not that I was looking for it. I'd try it, but I haven't. Talking about the XR ladies. Anyway, this whole mystery, the possibilities, everything I told you about mixed reality, it's why it's so thrilling. That's why the Hexagonians are going derailed over it. Part of it is real, part of it isn't. Who made the XR mixers? It's gotta be some advanced technology. No one's got a clue. It just suddenly appeared. And now it's here and everyone who knows about it is spending all their credits on it. I'm new to all this, so I know little, but I think one of the factions there is pushing this. Just a rumor, okay? Say nothing. So there. Now you know. Remember, keep this to yourself, okay? Can I get some more coffee? Well, I think I earned it by now. Yeah, that you certainly did. Excel. Okay then, man. Okay, grab yourself a flask or two from the coffee maker. Leave something for me. Alright, man. Take care, Seeger. Appreciate it. The only other named person I can think of would be Yahota. She lived... We'll take some coffee with us to remember the camp. I think we still have one or two things to read on the monitor. We'll do that in the beginning of the next episode. Let's say goodbye to Yahota, and then we will call it at that point. If I'm able to. could have given the acorn to the whatchamacallits, the free drones. Guess it's time to leave this place. And we even got a live Lotaeri out of it. She shakes her head in disbelief. Tell me about yourself, Yehuda, before I leave. What? What? I'm a sex specialist, currently on guard duty, trying to keep us all alive, okay? I'd rather be moving around like usually, but frag it, it's what I gotta do. Look, I want to be left alone. I work best alone. I can concentrate, I can think, I can plan my moves without depending on anyone else. And I got no attachments. So let's keep things that way. You do your job, I'll do mine. Completely understood. You're a sniper, you don't want anyone to even messing up your, distracting you. Take care, Yehuda. Leave you to your duty. Okay, everyone, that will do it for us. When we come back, we will move our supplies from this base. Actually, we might, I kind of want to take my jet ski with me. Am I allowed to take the jet ski with me? I hope so. I hope so. The only other thing I can think of is rifting here, because we're not gonna have that one pilot be able to ferry me back and forth. Maybe it also requires some energy or something. Unless there is a rift gate here. And maybe we were able to take it somehow. But I haven't seen anything that looks like a rift gate. Guess I haven't looked that hard, have I? I still didn't explore all of this facility either, did I? I don't think I did. Yeah, we have a whole lot left to explore. Alright everyone, well I'm babbling. Thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one. Take care everyone.